Alright, what is going on, guys? PoliticsGaming here, and today I am going to be doing a little bit of an election analysis. This is at the request of a couple of people that have been wanting this. But other than that, I am going to probably let a couple of people join in to this live stream. This is going to be, not even 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. It's not going to be that long of a live stream, but yeah, I mean, it's more of a just kind of analysis, just kind of talk over several points of what is going on in the world. Got a little bit of an update there. Alright, so, well, we got one person in here. Alright, so what I am actually going to be looking over today, I'm actually going to be looking over a couple of polls with you guys. So the first Senate race I'm actually going to be looking at, I'm actually going to go ahead and pull this up on 270. And, so what we are looking at right here is actually, 270 to win. This is basically kind of like a political website where you can just kind of make your own predictions and stuff like that. So I'm going to make a little bit of a map live for you guys. So, yeah, I mean, so right now, whoa, what happened? Why is it all blue? I did not make that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and reset that map. So the map that we have right now is very, very close for the Republicans. All the Republicans really have to do is pick up one seat, and they would be able to do that. It does look like Tennessee, according to 270, is leaning in the Republican column. Looks like Marsha Blackburn is actually leading in that, which, I mean, I don't know what her RCP average is. Blackburn is behind. The last poll was on July 11th to the July 14th. So that is interesting that 270 would actually put Blackburn in there. However, their primary is in August, so that is one reason why, again, I usually don't like to call things, especially this early. I mean, look, Florida's primary is not until the 28th of August. It's not until the 28th, and I think that's why Bill Nelson has not been fundraising a lot and hasn't been advertising as much as Rick Scott has, and that's why Scott has actually been ahead in the polls. So let's go over a couple of given states. So we're gonna go over to North Dakota. Let's see what the polls are looking like over there. Okay, so the last poll was in June of last month. And that put Kramer 4 points ahead, which, I mean, is a pretty decent amount to be ahead by. So, just to give it the benefit of the doubt, I'm going to go ahead and put that lightly in the Republican column. What's going on, Wildest Gamer? Welcome to the live stream. Alright, and then we go over to Missouri. Their primary is not until August 7th, which North Dakota has already had their primary, so these are the people that are going to be running. So, go over to Missouri. This one is kind of as mixed up as Florida. As, you know, it's kind of weird because Missouri is kind of like looking toward the Democrats because, I mean, the governor has been under a lot of scandal lately. So in any case, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the Democratic column. And then we go over to Indiana and West Virginia. West Virginia is definitely going to the Democrats. That is just a complete given. And I'm pretty damn sure that West Virginia is going to stay there. However, I do feel like that Indiana will flip against Joe Donnelly. Because Joe Donnelly is sort of like a unpopular character. So I'm going to go ahead and put Indiana. What is going on, JJ Holmes? Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and put Indiana into the Republican column for Mike Braun. However, again, the last poll, for some reason, was taken back, way back in May. and that put Braun 1 point ahead of Joe Donnelly. So until we see another poll, I'm just going to give it, again, the benefit of the doubt and put it into the Democratic column or the Republican column. And this already puts the Republicans at 51 to 46. However, we still have a lot of states to go. So Nevada has a Republican incumbent. This is already a given. Let's go ahead and check the polls in Nevada. The last poll was back in June 23rd. So that was about a month ago, yeah. So maybe we will see a new poll come out sometime soon. They've already had their primary, so the primary people are going to be Dean Heller and Jackie Rosen. Jackie Rosen is a U.S. representative against, or a U.S. representative from Nevada 3, and Dean Heller is the incumbent U.S. senator from Nevada. So, if anything, we're seeing Rosen is 4 points ahead. However, Heller is 1 point ahead in the last poll before that, which was 2 months. So it looks like that every 2 months is whenever these polls are being taken. I mean, again, this is why it's really like not financially viable to actually do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that into the Democratic column, as it is likely that Nevada will flip. And then we go over to Arizona. Arizona is a highly contested state in this election cycle, and that is one reason why a lot of Democrats are really hoping that they can flip it. Kyrsten Sinema is a representative from Arizona 9, and she is very likely to flip Arizona, and I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to go ahead and put them to lightly red, or how lightly blue. So then we finally come down to the flipper, which is going to be Florida. The state of Florida is going through a lot of change as of yet. We have changing demographics. We have a lot of refugees that are coming in from Puerto Rico, from those hurricanes that absolutely devastated the region last year and this year. And there's just a whole bunch of contested results that are coming in from Florida. Right now, the most recent poll put Nelson 4 points ahead of Governor Scott. However, I am honestly really, like, it's a gut feeling that I have that I feel like Florida will flip. Florida is very, very likely to flip, and it's a very, I believe it's ignorant to say, oh yeah, well, they're going to stay with the Democrats, or they're definitely going to go to the Democrats. I don't think any of these states, that, like, again, until the election gets closer, that's whenever I'm going to make a solid prediction of who I think is going to win, based on polling, based on what's going on, based on stuff like that. But as of now, and until the election gets closer, I am confident as I can be, that Florida will go to the Republicans. And this would obviously put the Republicans 52 to 48 if they were to win Florida. If they don't win Florida, then that would put the Republicans right back where they started out with 51 to 49. They would only have to lose one vote to basically kill any legislation that they would want to put in. But a majority with 52 to 48, that would help them a little bit. But that is a gut feeling that I have. If anything, in a good blue wave scenario, they would have to keep North Dakota. They would have to flip Arizona. They would have to flip Nevada. They would have to keep Florida. They would have to hold on to Indiana as well. And that only puts them at 51 to 49. That's the Democrats right there. It's getting really difficult for them to try and keep or even get a majority. The numbers in this election are just so against the Democrats. That is why I do not feel like they will win this midterm election. I feel like the game is set so against the Democrats that they're actively trying to push for the demolition of of a race, of a, no, not a race, of a organization, ICE, for doing their job. They're actively going way more left, which, I mean, the Democrats are in the midst of a civil war right now. The Democrats are just trying to figure out what they are. You have the moderate Democrats, and then you got the social Democrats, and you got the left, the really, really left Democrats. So you are going to see a massive civil war happen within the Democratic Party before you even see a blue wave, a true blue wave, a landslide for the Democrats. And even if they wanted to do that, they still wouldn't be able to do it this election. This is what they would be able to do. This is the best landslide they would ever have to even do anything. They would just have to flip Tennessee. They would have to flip Texas. That's all they have to do. They would get 53 to 47. That's not a super majority. That's a majority, but it's not a super majority. There's no way they're going to be able to flip Mississippi. There's no way they're going to be able to flip Nebraska. There's no way they're going to be able to flip Utah or Wyoming. There's no way there is going to be a blue wave. If it was going to be a blue wave, then Nebraska, Wyoming, and Utah would be going toward the Democrats. But they're not. They're still hard for the Republicans. And especially Texas. You have Beto O'Rourke. And I'm from Texas. I'm a Texan. And you are just not going to see Texas go blue, especially in 2018. Maybe in 2020, maybe in 2022, maybe in 2024, most definitely by 2030. But right now, in 2018, you're not going to see that happen for another 12 years. There's no way, in my own thinking, that Texas will go blue by 2030. After 2030, yeah, definitely. But right now, no way. So I'm going to go ahead and put Tennessee back. And Indiana. So I'm going to go ahead and get my map that I actually had. Okay, so this, well, okay, Nevada was, then you got that. You got that. Blue, I'm going to put Missouri blue. I'm going to put Indiana red. West Virginia is going blue. And Florida, again, I have a hard feeling that Florida will go blue. So, yeah, I mean, this is my full opinion, honestly. The best the Republicans can do at this point will be 52 to 48. The worst they can do is 50-50. Like, they would have to get a tie, which, if the Democrats hold on to Indiana, and if the Democrats flip Tennessee, then that would be their 50-50 scenario. This, honestly, in a real opinion, would be the best thing that the Democrats would be able to do. There's, again, no way that the Democrats can flip any other state except for Tennessee, Nevada, and Arizona. That would be a really big win for the Democrats, and it would send a massive message to the Trump administration. However, as of now, no. There's, again, absolutely no way. So, I'm going to go ahead and reset that map, and now I'm going to go to the House. We're going to go ahead and look at the U.S. House of Representatives. And I'm not going to make a prediction. There's just so many of these that are there. I think the House, in my opinion, would have a better chance of flipping toward the Democrats than the Senate. Because, I mean, you know, these are literally local races. This is local. Like, that's how you flip. But you still have to give the Republicans the benefit of the doubt. Sitting there and saying, "Oh yeah, well they're going to take back the House." You need to look at these individual races. I mean, look, you got these three races in California that, or 4 races in California that are completely battlegrounds actually right now. I mean, let me go check on what these races are being calculated as. Okay, so we have House. So If anything, the Republicans can probably keep their majority, which they need at least 217. But 27 houses are up for grabs in this election, including one in my Texas. Which, I mean, this one is most likely going to go blue. Just kind of looking at its geographic area. And then knowing California, I mean, you're probably going to see, especially these areas in the Los Angeles region. I mean, you see this one that's right next to Silicon Valley. The best the Republicans can do is to get that one. And then you got this one. I'm going to go ahead and throw that one into the blue. These guys right here, their proximity to the urban region of Los Angeles, yeah, definitely. Their Democrats can definitely get those. And then let's see what we got in Texas. We got a region outside of Houston, just as a geographic area. I mean, and then we have one right here that could, in theory, go toward the Republicans because they are. I mean, I'm kind of basing my assumptions on the geographic area of these places. So I would have to look at every single individual race. I mean, I could do that, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's just, that's why the House is so hard to predict, because I mean, I don't know these races. I mean, this one right here, I think this is Pennsylvania 1st. Pennsylvania 1. This is a more urban area, so I feel like that would definitely have to go toward the Democrats, and maybe this one right here. Anywhere that's completely Democratic or urban, you're definitely going to see the Democrats go there. My region is up for grabs, and it's in this area right here. I have a social democrat that's actually running for my seat in my area. Oh yeah, speaking of gerrymandering, look at this one in the Dallas area. This is just ridiculous. So yeah, there's that. I can probably make an extremely in-depth thing. So we go to here, the Republicans are obviously going to have like complete control of the governorships across the country. Like Florida, I mean, as long as the governor of Florida actually like pits someone like good into the race, you're gonna see Florida go to the Republicans. Same thing. I mean, Ohio, I mean, if they get a good governor candidate in the Republicans, they're going to go Republican again. However, the Democrats do have a good chance of taking Ohio. Michigan as well. However, maybe the water crisis could probably hurt them, so that could make them go Democrat. Iowa, just knowing that they're a conservative state, I could just put them into the Republican column. Connecticut, however, does have a Republican governor. So in any case, they could still go to the Republicans. Oh yeah, Florida. Speaking of that, yeah, I remember because I watched your video, JJ Holmes, on the Gwen character. I think it's Gwen Stefani. No, God, no. I completely got that wrong. Oh, Gwen Graham. Yeah, Gwen Graham is running for Florida governor. Here is a picture of her if you guys actually are not familiar with who she is. This is Gwen Graham. She is running for Florida governor. She's a part of the Democratic Party. I do believe she... No. She didn't win the primary as of yet. So yeah, that is the Florida race as of now. So yeah, I mean, you're seeing that the Florida governor race. I don't know who's running Florida governor race. Let me see who's actually running. So let me look. Okay, so in the Republican primary, we have candidates declared. I forgot who it was. I mean, there was one dude, Adam Putnam. Oh, Florida Commissioner of Agriculture since 2011, and he was a U.S. representative for Florida 12 from 2001 to 2011. So I guess he's the front runner. Again, that's one reason why I never like to do this. Is until the election comes near, I'm not going to make a lot of these videos. So that's why, I mean, it's really premature to even call these elections without knowing fully who is running and the polls at least adjusting to who is running. So that's why I feel like the numbers for Florida in the Senate race especially is going to basically be doing like a bipolar disorder or something like that. So then you come over to the 2020 election. Who's going to win 2020? Well, people who are anti-Trump usually say, oh yeah, well, Donald Trump is going to win. The best case scenario that I feel like Trump would be able to do would have to be this. He would lose Michigan. He could pick up Nevada. Another good scenario is that he makes gains in Colorado, makes gains in Virginia, keeps Florida. Even if he does lose Florida, he would that's where he would put him. It would still put him at a good, healthy margin of winning. So a good scenario for Donald Trump could be losing Michigan. Picking up New Hampshire, he would have the ability to pick up New Hampshire. Maybe he could pick up another district from Maine. And I believe that would have to be it. Oh yeah, Minnesota could definitely go toward him, which would be the first time since Richard Nixon that Minnesota has actually voted for another candidate. So anything with anything, like that's how I feel like it would play out. But in a pitting a good Democratic candidate. So let's look at some of the candidates we have. Elizabeth Warren wouldn't win. Kamala Harris wouldn't win. Gillibrand, I feel like, would not win. Andrew Cuomo definitely would not win. See, all of these candidates are just really bad candidates. Like these are the people that are supposed to run against Trump in 2020 that are possibly thinking about it. The best guy they would have to vote for would have to be Biden. Like, but even then, like they would not be able to have a good candidate to run against them. I mean, J.J. Holmes, you'd probably be a good candidate. I'd vote for you. I can't change the name on here, but yeah, J.J. Holmes election, I feel like it would be like a here, Florida would go, Rust Belt would go, Ohio would go, there goes Iowa. There you go. There's your map. But in a real sense, honestly, the worst or the best that a Democrat could do, here's the best I feel like Biden would be able to do. He'd be able to flip Florida. He'd have to flip the Rust Belt. The Rust Belt is what decided the 2016 election. That's why Trump even won, because the Rust Belt voted against Hillary. That's why she lost. Ohio, unless like their growing conservative base would actually vote against him, that would have to go toward the Democrats along with Iowa. In any case, I feel like this could be a good map. And then, I mean, in a lot of these states, the Democrats really don't have a good chance. Because, I mean, as one person said it, it's like you're pitting, like, I mean, putting Hillary in there was a terrible idea. Because you got some, like, charismatic black dude and then replaced it with, like, someone's stepmom. So that's just honestly something that I think about whenever I think about it. And I don't think he would be able to do that, because in North Carolina, in those really high black population states, maybe even Michigan, if because I mean that's one of the reasons why Michigan went so for Trump by a really small margin, because I mean you still have a lot of liberals that are there, but those votes are literally dependent on the black population and the minority population. That's why the Democrats actually lost in 2016. It's because they lost all of those Democratic black votes. And I mean, Hillary's numbers like should have been way higher than they should have been in Philadelphia. Philadelphia, usually wherever Philadelphia votes, that's how the rest of the state votes. But I mean, you see how Pennsylvania voted. Let me actually get a map of Pennsylvania on how they voted in the 2016 election. You can see why she lost. That's why. And let me get one from 2012. Is that she lost because that black vote never came out to vote for her. I mean, look at this, compare it to this, and then compare it to this. You can see the difference between Pennsylvania. You can see how much, this is 2012 right here, what I'm looking at right here. Some of Philadelphia actually, like in the suburban area of Philadelphia, actually went for Hillary. But you can actually see, I mean, Trump picked up the county right here. He also picked up Erie County. And I think from what I counted last time, she won 11 counties, and then he won just the complete rest of them. So that's how difficult it is for the Democrats to actually win, is because they relied on that Obama coalition, which the Obama coalition basically was the black and minority vote actually coming out and voting for the Democratic candidate. That population did not come out to vote for Hillary, because honestly, in my opinion on this, I mean, it could change. It may be a little different. It's because they didn't run a black candidate. If Hillary maybe was black, like a black woman or something like that, like Michelle Obama, for example. I mean, Michelle Obama has a lot of perks, including the name recognition, being a black woman, literally being an Obama, and being a Democrat. That would have given her the Electoral College. But that didn't happen. They ran some white woman who was going to continue the policies that were hurting a lot of Americans, who was going to make a lot of, that was making a lot of rhetoric that was hurtful to a lot of people. She never visited several states, including the outskirts of those states. She never visited Wisconsin, and that's one of the things, and one of the amazing things that I love about watching these electoral maps is watch this. Watch Wisconsin. When in 2016 and then in 2012, it changes a lot. So here is the map of Wisconsin in 2012. And then here it is in 2016. If you look at this southern area right here, like I don't know what cities would have to be in this region, But in this area right here, you can see a lot of change. And then the map actually gets darker red. It's amazing to see stuff like that. Michigan is the exact same scenario. I mean, you get Michigan, and they do the exact same thing. Like, I mean, I'm about to pull it up in a second. When this is the 2012 map, oops. I need to get this. Ah. This thing doesn't want to work with me. All right, so here's a 2012 map, and then here's a 2016 map. You can see how unpopular these candidates were. I mean, not even just these candidates, the Democratic candidate was, and why she lost. She never even visited Wisconsin. I think the one place that she actually visited was outside of Detroit. And even she never got the numbers that Obama did back in 2012. So that's honestly just like my kind of little rant on why she kind of lost. And honestly, a rematch, honestly, would have to make it even worse for the Democrats. That, for one, they pit the same exact person against him. And then two, it would literally be a shot in the head if they were to pit the same person against Donald Trump. And even when they want to do something like putting Oprah in there, they want to run Oprah, apparently. And Oprah is the exact person that the Democrats loathe. They hate the rich. They talked about someone who didn't have political experience and needed to, like, that was a bad thing for a president and stuff like that. They would be complete hypocrites to actually run Oprah. However, even whenever they run people like Cory Booker, Elizabeth Warren, these are establishment Democrats that are just horrible choices. Bernie Sanders would actually have a good chance of winning. However, in my opinion, I feel like his policies are the worst, and then he would get a lot of these people that voted democratically to say, okay, we're not going to vote in some literal socialist into the White House. Because, I mean, you get a lot of people who would vote for him because they say free healthcare, free this, free that. Which, I mean, I'm not against free healthcare, honestly. The only thing that I hate about it is how it's like it's like a horribly expensive. That's one reason why I'm against it. But yeah, I mean, I think that's enough from me, honestly. So guys, if you guys like this, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go ahead and leave a like on this video right now. And guys, I will see you on the next one where I will do more videos such as this, especially whenever it gets closer. And JJ Holmes, speaking of election night, I may do an election night. I mean, it does take a lot of work. That's one reason why I kind of don't do it. But another reason why I don't do it is because I just never done it before. I don't know what to do with it. So guys, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.